fast forward to the Commanders. Now, and this was a storied team, had a complicated owner prior.
Yes,
and as I said, there was a period of time where it looked like if Jeff Bezos wanted to buy this thing, he could.
Yep. So this is a funny story. So before I started 26North, I had just left Apollo, and I bid on Chelsea. Obviously we owned a lot of sports assets. I bid on the Denver Broncos, spent lots of time, and as you know, putting these deals together is very complicated. And the Waltons came along, and boom, we lost. And so then when the Commanders were potentially for sale, I had started 26North, and I had moved on. And my friend Mark Ian, who was sitting in the audience there, said, "Come on, Josh, let's look at the Commanders." And I said, "Come on, I'm not going to price the Commanders for Jeff Bezos. I've done this before, and we're going to spend a lot of time and get outbid." And that started a whole process of first Mark nagging me, introducing me to Mitch Rales. We created this incredible group, and ultimately went through a super complicated process, which I can go into, but basically it was one of the harder deals I've ever had to accomplish.
Because?
Well, you had obviously you had a tough counterparty on the other side,
right.
And Dan Schneider did what he should for his family. It was a tough counterparty. You had a league that has a lot of rules and that is quite powerful and that you need to accommodate. And then we put together a 20-person group. So to do this, there's limits on how much debt you can put on a franchise. So I like to joke that at $6 billion, my credentials as a value investor are shattered. 60 times EBITDA isn't a 26North multiple, but it actually, in sports, I saw real value in owning this franchise and team, and I had to sell that to this incredible group of partners because even though I was putting up a substantial amount of capital, the equity check was about $5 billion, and so we raised about $3 billion.
Right.
And it was everyone from Eric Schmidt, there's some people that are okay, to Irvin Magic Johnson, Mitch Rales, Mark, the list goes on as to the people who are involved. And it's a great asset, but it actually kind of, I think, sort of created a little bit of a wake-up call at the NFL that unless you're one of the wealthiest, not wealthiest 400, the wealthiest 50
right.
people, that writing a $5 billion equity check is pretty hard for anyone, and that the rules that exist in terms of putting together a group to buy an NFL team are restrictive. And so raising that amount of capital was unique. It had never been done before. And I think it may be leading to some rethink as to the consideration of letting private equity, as an example, or institutional investors into the NFL.
Well, that does seem to be, at least directionally, the path of travel. Do you think that's a good idea? And is it that they're just going to run out of people who can physically buy these teams if they don't?
That's pretty much what the rationale for it, but also I'd say I think it is a good idea because, look, what's happened with sports is that media content is globalizing. These are becoming global media businesses. More people watch the Sixers in China than watch them in Philly in some cases. The NFL is like massively watched globally as well. And so these are all growing businesses. And then you have stadiums, you have arenas. The cost of the stadium or arena today is, could be $1 billion to $5 billion, right? Depending on an arena versus stadium. But so like they're massively capital intensive business. You have to invest. We're putting $80+ million into the existing stadium out in Landover. We're looking for a new home. And so you need capital. And so freeing up other sources of capital to help grow these amazing businesses is the right answer.